Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas, your source for Ford news, update, and information with a video on the 2023 and probably 2024 Ford Escape. We're actually inside the vehicle in this video, and we're going to go over all the driver controls of the vehicle and cover some of the productivity screen as well, and even maybe highlight a little bit of this bigger 13.2-inch screen as well, but we'll save a little bit of that for later. But we're going to cover all the controls in here. So if you've maybe taken delivery of a vehicle and your salesperson went over so much you've forgotten some things and you want a kind of a recap, this would be a good video for you. Or maybe you took a remote delivery, whether it be from us, from another dealership, and they weren't able to go through all the controls for you. This video will also be helpful for you too. So nice how-to video. If you like this video, you probably like some of our other videos, and we do actually have a nice video library of the 2023 and 2024 Ford Escape of what's standard and optional for each of the different trim levels. If you'd like to watch those videos as well, definitely check those out. So let's go ahead and dive in and get started. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss any videos that we have coming live. In fact, we're going to be doing a video on this screen separate because it's the new 13.2-inch screen and a separate video. And if you don't want to miss that video, you definitely want to make sure you're subscribed. So, all right. So with this, we're going to kind of start from the left to the right and go over all the controls, all the buttons, all the switches. What do they do? How do they operate? And give you all the information here so you know how to best use your vehicle and enjoy your Ford Escape. So this happens to be an ST line Select, I believe, that we're sitting in with the tech package. So some people may not realize, if you watch the videos that we do, you would know this, but this 13.2-inch center stack screen is available as part of the tech package on the Active, on the ST line Select, and all of them. So it is available in standard equipment in some of the trim levels like the Platinum and the ST line Elite. So it is available pretty much on every trim level of the Ford Escape. So we'll cover that in a separate video because a lot of people, I think that's a nice big screen. A lot of people like that screen and it just looks great in the vehicle. But we'll cover that in a separate video just to let you know. Now in the center stack screen, oh, by the way, if you don't upgrade with the tech package on those other ST line Active and ST line Select, you'll have an 8-inch touchscreen, and so we probably not will cover that one in a separate video. For one, I don't have a vehicle right now in stock, but at some point we might cover that in a separate video if I feel like the navigation of that screen is too much different than what this one is. But the productivity screen does come in two different versions as well. About all of the trim levels, though, it will be what we're seeing in this one is an 8-inch productivity screen or instrument cluster, as some people like to call that, through the steering wheel. You get the 12.3-inch digital screen on the Platinum and also on the ST line Elite, but you do have to get those, and also probably the plug-in with the premium tech package would get that screen too. So we probably will not cover that in a separate video. So just want to preference that ahead of time. If you're looking for those videos, this may not be the video for you if you're just looking for specific content just on those setups. So, all right, now let's dive in. On the left side over here on the driver's door, you're going to see your power locks, unlock and lock right here on the door. Also on the handle itself, that's where you're going to see your power window switches and your power mirror switches. So power windows front and back for the driver's door. Of course, all the doors, the other doors will have one for their windows. And for the driver, you do have one touch up and down for this. One touch means that I can press it all the way down and I don't have to hold it. It's going to go ahead and roll that window down. So let me demonstrate this. So if I if I softly press it, it's going to work like any other window. But if I press it and until I feel that click, let go, it rolls it down. I don't have to hold it. Coming up, you pull it till you feel an extra click, then let go, and it's going to roll it up. Now this particular trim level has it on all 4 of the windows, and I'm not sure. This is an ST line Select, I believe. So I'm not sure if it actually, I think this might be the setup on even the Active, which is really nice. Now, then up there above that is your power mirror switches, left and right. So the buttons on the bottom of the dial, there'll be a round dial there. Down there you'll see, it does look like a mirror. That left one is on the left side. So if I press that, it'll light up. It lets me know that that's active. And so then if I move that dial up and down, I can adjust it just right. When I have it just right, press the button below it again, it'll of course the light will go off. That way you can now move that switch and it won't change that. Set your right one and then you're good to go there. What's above the dial up there is you're locking those rear windows back there. So if you don't want those kids rolling down the windows, you want to press that, make sure it's lit up, and so that way they can't roll the windows down. Or if there's adults back there and you have that on there because you had kids in the car and they're like, I can't roll my window down, you would press that so they would give them access back there. All right, now moving over here to the left of the steering wheel where you would see your headlights and such like that. Let's go through those switches. Of course, the round dial is to adjust your headlights, turn them on, off, or put in auto. The top button there, it'll actually light up, put a light in there. That circle at the top, that is your headlight switch will be turned off. It actually puts it on the productivity screen here so it shows you what's going on there. Next one down is going to be your parking lamps, and it'll have kind of two lights with them going out to each side. Below that, you'll see a headlight with an A in it. That's your automatic headlight. So it says automatic headlights, means they'll come on when it gets dark, shut off when it gets light. The one below that is just turning the headlamps on altogether. So if you do that, leave the vehicle, don't forget to turn those off. That's something to be aware of. Now, I'm going to leave it on for a second because this in here, a lot of your ST line vehicles will have fog lights as well. And that middle of that dial is going to be what you see, a light with a little line going down through it. That's your fog lights. As long as your headlights are on, press that. You can turn your fog lights on. You're going to see it indicated down there on the productivity screen. All right. And I'm going to put that back to auto. The left side of that, though, I want to talk to you about are two switches here that maybe not all vehicles will have. If yours don't have them, don't worry about it. Let me go over what those are if you do have those. The top one is going to be like a car with the liftgate open. That is your power liftgate. So yes, from the inside, kids are going to put the ball equipment and stuff in the back. You just press that button there. It's going to power that up for you if you have the power liftgate option. This is the ST line select again, as I mentioned. So it does have power liftgate. Press it again, it's going to go down. So active may not have this capabilities, but if you have the power liftgate, you'll have a button on there to be able to do that from the inside. Now below that, you'll see a little fuel tank or gas pump there. That's because this is a hybrid. So hybrid, plug-in hybrid, Ford likes to lock that door. So to unlock that door, that switch is going to be right here. You will want to press it, give it a second, and it should pop open for you. Now, if you don't have that button, you don't have a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid, you just press the door and on the outside, and then it'll open for you. So pretty easy how that works. Now onto the right side of the light switch, you're going to see a plus and a minus up there. That is going to change the brightness of your screens. So if you want it, maybe a little more dim, maybe it's kind of bright for you, you can plus and minus to get it where you want it right there. Now let's go and talk about the steering wheel. This is a nice leather-wrapped steering wheel. Maybe they don't call it leather-wrapped, maybe just a wrapped steering wheel. It has the Euro-style stitching because it is one of the ST lines with the red color there. This has a flat-bottom steering wheel. All the Escapes will have that now. And then I'll have some switches on here. But before we cover those switches, I want to talk about the two stalks back behind the steering wheel. The one on your left, you go up and down. That's your turn signal. About everybody knows those how those work. Now, if you bring it towards you, it's going to be your brights. I say your brights. Your high beams. Sorry, I had to kind of get the word. Your high beams. That's what that's going to for. If you bring it towards you, as you hold it, the high beams will be on. As you let go, they'll turn off. Now, if you press it forward and then let go, then so as long as your headlights are on, they'll stay on. Press it again, it shuts them off. So that's how you would want to adjust those. If you're like, well, my brights won't work, they won't stay on, you need to press it forward. Now, the one on the right side over here is going to be for your wipers. So you go up once, that's going to be your intermittent setting. To adjust how often that's going to wipe, you use the dial that's just in the middle right there. That is going to be how often your intermittent goes. Go up one more time, that's going to be turning it on, constant, a little bit slower, and then go up one more time, it's going to be faster. So there's 3 different settings there for that. And then if you go down, it's going to be one single wipe. So maybe, maybe somebody splashes you with it, you go through a sprinkler or something that hits you, just go down and it's one single wipe for you there. Now, if you bring it towards you, that's going to turn your washer on, spray that water on the windshield, and then it's going to start wiping for a few swipes there to make sure they think they have it all there. And if you have your courtesy wipe turned on, it'll do one last swipe. We'll show you where that setting is as well. Now on the end down there is going to be your rear wiper. So of course it has 2 different adjustments. You go up once and it's going to go ahead and do that, and then up again, it'll do that. It'll do it a little bit faster. Now, I believe Yep. If I push that forward, it's going to turn the washer for the back one on and allow it to give you some water back there. So towards you for the front one, away from you for the back one. So there you go. That's how that all works. Now there's a lever over here on the left side. With this, you just press that down. It'll kind of press it kind of hard there. That releases for this tilt and telescoping steering wheel. So you can see I can freely go up and down, forward and back, and get it just right where I want it, and then press that back up and it locks it back into place so it won't move. So pretty nice in how that adjusts. So all right, now let's talk about these controls on the steering wheel themselves. On the left side of the steering wheel, there's a little silver bar across there. We'll talk about the switches that are at the top part of that. That's your cruise control. So whether you have adaptive cruise or you don't have adaptive cruise, this one looks like it does have adaptive cruise. That's where your cruise is going to set. On the left button over there, that's kind of longer. That's what turns your cruise control on. So if you press this set and like it's not setting, you got to turn it on first. So we turn the cruise control on. You'll see that it's on. And if you are going along at the speed you want and you press it, it's going to set it as it turns it on. Not all vehicles do that, but the Escape does. And then if you want to adjust that, the little button in the middle actually is kind of like a little knob. You can go up and down with it. So you just press it up if you want to add one speed, 1 mile an hour to your cruise setting, or go down if you want to lower it. If you have to hit your brakes and then when you want to resume, it says RES in the middle, you press it in. So press onto it and that'll resume you back up to your cruise control speed. Now those buttons on the right side, the one on the bottom, is going to be, which is right in the middle of that, is going to be, you're going to see 2 lanes with some arrows. That's your lane keeping system. So that allows you to help keep you in the middle of your lane. If you get over to the lane, if it depends on what setting you have, it'll bring you back in or vibrate the steering wheel if you leave your lane. That's how you turn that on and off. So you'll see lane keeping system off or on for that. And so right now I want that on. The button above that is going to be for your adaptive cruise control. If you have it, you'll have that there, and that allows you to change the gap that you have in front of you of how soon it's going to slow you down to go into the speed of the vehicle in front of you. So adaptive cruise slows you down to go their speed without having to press a brake, even bring you to complete stop. In some vehicles, I think the Escape is one of them, that if you start going, you will have to hit that resume button, and then you'll start following them and resume them. When you can safe to pass them, it'll speed you up to your original cruise control speed, which is real nice. But you change that gap of how soon it slows you down right there by using that button right there. Now below that silver button is going to be your, you see some speakers, a minus and a plus. That is for your volume controls for your radio. So you can adjust that there without having to go over here to the dial and adjust it, because the volume control is actually almost on the passenger side of the center stack here. So it's kind of a little ways over there. I can reach it just fine, but it is a little further over there. You can do it right here with these. Also, you're going to see it looks like a little person speaking. That is to connect with your sync system, so you can kind of ask it different commands. So if you press the button, it actually come up, start listening, and then you have different commands that you can tell it. Has some pre-settings in there and examples. So I'm going to cancel it there. That's how you would set that. Now let's move to the right side of the steering wheel, and the top part above that little silver button, that is going to control everything for your productivity screen. So we have a menu button there, we have an arrow up and down, so that little joystick is what I like to call it, that says OK on it. It goes up and down, that adjusts and allow you to go down and up on the screen. Hit the OK, you press that in, that's going to select that, what you have highlighted, and then the back will take you back a screen. So we'll talk more about that here in a second towards the end of the video. Now below that little Chrome button there, or Chrome applique accent I should say, below that you're going to see some arrows left and right, and that is your presettings. So if you have your presettings set up, it'll take your radio through your presettings that way too, left, right, whatever, and you have a lot of, we'll go over all the presettings and how to set those as well just a little bit. And then the other one has a phone button. That's how you would, if you're on a phone call, you want to end the phone call, you just press that button, so you don't have to worry about the screen here. It's just right there at your fingertips. So all right, that's all those controls right there. Let's talk about the controls down here. Now it will look different if you have the 13.2 inch screen or if you have the 8-inch screen. If you have the 8-inch screen, all your climate controls are going to be on the center stack down here. We do have push button start is located right here as well. You'll see this one has a 13.2 inch screen, so the climate control is actually at the bottom part of that screen. So then that leaves you a very few buttons in here. So it looks kind of nice. I like the look of it. This in here, I'll kind of go over the switches in here. Of course, climate control, we'll go over the climate controls buttons up here on the screen in a second. But all those will be down here in the center stack if you have the 8-inch screen. Pretty easy to understand those, but we'll go through those in a second. Now, this one has a few other buttons here, and they're kind of quick access buttons is what I like to call them. So this first one here that I'm kind of highlighting, it has a little line through it, or in the middle of it. Press that just allows it to go in kind of a calm screen for you with just your time and your date there. Press it again, brings that screen back up the way you had it. The one that has the vehicle with some lines on the outside of it, that's your driver assistance features. And I like that they make that very quick and easy to get into, because there's times when you want to change some of those settings while you're driving, and those are the few features that you can change while you're driving, is your driver assistance features. So you need to be able to access that quickly. So having a button right there, that is really nice that it's easy to get to, so you know where that's at. So press that, hit your additional settings there, and there's where you can go. And we'll go through these here in a little bit on the video when we go over this screen is when we'll go through these. But all your driver assist features are here on the center stack screen. I don't believe they're on this other screen. That's just your vehicle settings on your productivity screen. All right, we're gonna shut that. Go hit the home. All right, and then right beside that, max defrost. So again, it's these quick access things. You get in the vehicle, windshield's frozen over, right? You want to get that defrost started, you hit that button right there, and it's going to activate that. You can do it up here as well, but again, quick access things. And then also your drive modes right there. So if I press that button, you can see we have a normal, we have an eco, sport, and a slippery mode. Press that little eye beside any of them. It tells you what that drive mode is and what it does. Normal mode is the everyday driving. This mode balances all vehicle systems for comfort, convenience, and excitement. If I hit the eco basically says this mode is tuned to help optimize fuel economy, potentially in exchange for reduced vehicle performance and cabin climate comfort. So again, trying to make it most fuel efficient, it may change the climate controls in the vehicle. Sport. For spirited and engaged driving, enhances vehicle acceleration, performance, and driving dynamics. So if you want a really cool driving experience, that would be the one you'd want. Slippery mode. So this in here, for less than ideal driving conditions such as snow-covered roads or ice-covered roads, this mode reduces acceleration response and optimizes vehicle stability settings for slick and wet surfaces. So if it's raining outside really hard, or it's snow, ice, turn that on and it'll help the vehicle dynamics of it, and so to make it a little bit easier. So I'm curious, I haven't done this yet, but I'm gonna hit that button, and I think if I hit it again, okay, it just takes that off. So you do actually have to go up and touch the screen up here. I was kind of hoping you could press it and it would go down through them, but it doesn't. So there you go. And then your volume control and turning the audio on and off is right here. So a couple things on this one. Now again, all the climate controls will be down there if you have the 8-inch center stack screen. Now, we're going to talk about the climate control switches here on this one here with the 13.2, and again, they'll be the same as if they were down below. But if you have the heated seats like this one does, the driver and front passenger would have heated seats. Now you press that button right there, and on this screen it comes up. You can use that dial to go up and down. If I press that button again, then it's going to go ahead and just adjust it and bring that heated seat down for you. Or you can use the dial to move it if you want. Now, passenger would do it on that side on theirs. You'll notice dual zone climate, so we have a temperature dial here as well as one over there. So when the dual climate, and I'll show you where that's located, is on, then they can have two different temperatures, and you would adjust those with the plus and minus right through that. Just by pressing the plus and minus, it'll adjust it. Or you can use the dial if you want to have fun and use that. If you wait long enough, it'll just go ahead and come down and disappear. Or if you want to, or if you're one of those impatient people, hit the little arrow and it'll disappear for you. This one has heated steering wheel, so you'll see that is right beside the dial for the driver's climate. And then the next one is your fan speed. So press that, opens it up. You can then go up and change that dial, and it changes how fast that fan's going. We'll turn it down. I hit the arrow as well, but there's also a plus and minus there. So if you don't like using the dial or the slider, then just use the plus and minus that's on both sides of that, and you can adjust the fan speed up and down that way. Auto, what that's going to do is like your house when you have the climate, is it's try to get it to that temperature that you want all the time. So if it's hotter than that, it's going to cool it down. If it's colder than that, it's going to warm it up. So I like the auto. Wife doesn't. She likes a constant temperature coming out. So that's how that'll work there. Let me turn that off. There we go. Okay, so, and then the next button over there is, you'll see it has a defrost, it has some arrows and everything. That is where you're having the climate, the controls and the arrows coming through. You can actually control that right here. You have your defrost, you can, hey, that's gonna bring it up there. You want it down below, you want it coming at your, through the middle vents, you can control that through that real easily. That's also where you're gonna see your, the recirc. So if you're in a, maybe you don't have that on, then it's trying to bring air from outside for the vehicle. If there's someone smoking in the car right beside you, you don't want that coming in here. You want to know where that's at. That is going to be on that area there. Hit that button and it's going to recirc and use the interior so that you don't smell that smoke or that person smoking beside you, or if it's exhaust from a vehicle, right? And then max AC is located right there. So if you need to know where that's at, there's not a quick button like there is defrost. It's located in there. And then if you want dual zone climate, that's where you turn that on and off, is right there. So right now the temperatures are the same, but if I hit the dual zone, then this passenger one can be changed to a different temperature, and you'll notice then they are different temperatures right there. So that's how that works. And then if you want to turn the climate control off, that's where you do it, or you can use the dial that's down below. Max defrost is right there, rear defrost, that's on the back glass, AC, and then your climate control for your passenger is right there. So there you go, that's all those. Now down below here, this is what I always call it the media hub area. Ford used to call it that. And that's where you can put your phone and media and stuff like that down in here. You'll notice a USB type A and C port in there. Those can charge your phones. They call it smart charging system there. So plug that in. Allows you also for Bluetooth. So this does have Sync 4, which allows you to do wireless Bluetooth connectivity and not have to plug your phone in to get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Which is nice to have. I like the wired in, so if you like that type of version, you just plug it in and it's going to be able to use your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay that way as well. And if you have a USB-C cord, there you go. There also is a power point down here too, so if you have one of those car chargers with the power point on there, you can still use those down in there. And then if you have, I don't believe this one has it, but on the left side over here, if you have the wireless charging pad option, then that's where that would be located. You just put your phone down in there and wireless charge your phone. Now, cup holders right here, and then also there is all your controls for your gear shift knob is right here. Of course, you put it in reverse, drive. I'm actually going to put it in drive right now because I'm going to demonstrate something in a second. Foot's on the brake, it's in drive right there. Now, if I open the door, it's going to automatically should put that in park at that point. Transmission's not in there, so it's not doing it for some reason. Normally, when you open the door, it'll put it in park for you as a safety precaution. This one's not doing that, so maybe they've gone away from that. But anyway, so there you go with that. Right below that is your parking brake, so you're going to press that. It's going to turn, the park brake is off if I press it. If I pull it, the park brake is engaged for you. So I'm going to press that down to disable that. And then below that, you'll have the auto hold button. Now, what that's going to do is if I'm in drive, I have the brake pressed, but my foot's getting tired, press that, it'll say on and highlight that. I can take my foot off the brake and it's not going to keep going. I just press the gas and then I start going, which is really nice to have. Now, the next time, you'll see it's still on while I'm driving, and then next time I brake the next stoplight, let go, it's activated. So you can leave that on if you want to, if you like that type of driving experience and such. You're going to have that. So I'm going to back up just a little bit so I'm not in front of traffic. All right, so that's how that works, and then cup holders and everything. Console is kind of padded there with the red stitching on this because that is the ST line. Open it up. There's storage in there. Now, they do have little slots for cords to come through, but there's no power point. They used to have power point inside the vehicles. They probably didn't change the moldings any. They still have the slots, but there's no power port now, no like phone charging or anything inside the console itself. And then of course you do have the glove box located over there on the passenger side as well. So I've covered all that. And for those of you that's all you're needing, thanks for watching. Oh wait, a couple things. Let me talk about the overhead console area. Almost forgot about that. We do have this mirror here is a day-night mirror, so that means it will have a lever under here. So you know, at nighttime you want to pull that lever down. It'll angle that up so those cars don't you know, hit you with those bright lights. Now some of the vehicles like Platinum and such may have an auto dimming rear view mirror. They will not have a lever. They're going to automatically dim. You won't need to do that. It's going to automatically do it for you. Now on the overhead console, we do have lights up here. I have them turned on right now. If you put it in the middle, then it's going to be when you open the door, it'll turn on. If I turn it to the right, it'll actually turn them off completely. Even if the door's open, they won't turn on. So you'll see it that way. So we're going to turn those back on. Also up here, you will see it does have a sunglass bin. You can use probably other things, but that's what Ford's calling it, and it's kind of configured that way to put sunglasses in there if you want. Now the visors, if you flip those down, you will see mirrors on them with lights. So illuminated vanity mirrors for the driver and front passenger. And there's a clip on both sides, whether it be this side or this side. Comes in handy for if you're going through those toll roads or something like that. You can put that ticket in there, or you're in the garage, parking garage, something like that. You can just put it right there, as long as you don't forget it's there. I did that on a trip. I went, where is that? Where did I put that garage ticket? And I could not find it for the longest time. But there you go. So I think I've covered everything now. Now let's go ahead and cover the productivity screen now, and kind of go over that here in this next part of the video. So going over this productivity screen, again, we're going to use these buttons over here on the right. So this is a menu button. We have the up and down, OK is in the middle, and back is over here, as I kind of mentioned earlier in the video. So let's go through some of this so you can kind of see. So we do have this 8-inch productivity screen. You can kind of see where it breaks out over here. We have a meter over here. That is actually our fuel gauge. You can see it's almost full. Those little white lines up there, those light up. So you can kind of see over here on this side, they're kind of grayed out, except for that on the bottom. So the engine's barely running, and the temperature over here is very cool and everything. Now we do have this little engine over here that, oh, you can't see it with there you go, kind of see it there. You can kind of see it's in white. It'll turn different colors when it needs to. If I rev it up, and it needs to use the engine. Ready means the vehicle's on, because this is a hybrid and such. And then there's a little battery meter there. So as I use it when I'm driving, you'll see the power come up. You want to your goal is to kind of keep it under 0 if you can when you're driving a hybrid, but sometimes it goes over. So this is engine, this is battery. So anything below there, I'm regenerating the battery. If it's to 0, then I'm using just battery. And then if it's up in here, that means I'm using the motor, and that's what affects your fuel economy and such. Of course, down at the bottom, now you have your, your different, hands in the way, you have your, of course, miles to empty over here. You have your what gear you're in, whether you're park or drive or whatever I should say, and then also, of course, your temperature and your miles that you have used right there. So we're going to use these buttons over here and kind of go through these. So hit the menu, you'll see it pop up on there, and you'll see that. So we do have the My View, we have trip fuel, you have status information, vehicle maintenance, audio, phone, and settings. So we're going to go through all these first. My View, and again, we're just using it up and down to get through those. I'm going to hit the OK here, and it goes into My View. So the first thing you see is where you can configure your view, and then you have these other things that are down there. And I'm going to use these buttons here to go through those. So now playing, you have trip 1, this trip, fuel economy, you have Eco Coach, EV Coach, and tire pressure. But if you go up here to the configure view, I'm going to hit this OK right here. That tells you which of these. So if the box is checked, that's what ones. You'll notice those are the ones that we saw on there, right? Those are all the ones showing. Now, you only have so many you can use. So if I want to hit that, it'll tell me I'm maxed out of the screens that I have. So I have to get rid of something. So if I click on this and say, well, I don't need the now playing, I can uncheck that one. Well, it won't let me uncheck that one. There we go. So some of them evidently now playing will not let you. But if I take the trip 1 off, then I can add the power distribution on if I want. And then if I hit back right here, that takes us back to the configure view, and you'll now see power distribution on there instead of the trip 1, right? So that's how you configure that And then you can, this My View actually makes it real easy in getting into some of the things you most frequently use. So if I go into the power distribution, that's going to show me where the power is being driven and such. Hit the back, it goes back. In that case, you got to hit the menu button over here again to go into it. But you can go into, the My View again, and then you can kind of see what's going on there. And then easily goes into these. And we'll go into these others because these are found in other screens as well. These are just the, hey, I want to quickly get into these. This is how I can find those without having to remember what screen it is that I need to find those in. So we're going to hit back. We're going to go down to the trip and fuel. Now if I hit OK right here, you can see trip 1. So if I hit OK again, that goes into trip 1 and gives you all that information. So your miles, your electric miles there being used, your fuel economy right now, which is 18.4, and then the time used in that particular one. Hit this back again, and then that takes us, well, gotta hit the menu. Sometimes you gotta hit the menu to go back into it. Trip and fuel again, and now we go down to trip 2. It gives you the same information for trip 2. This trip is gonna be just like that, except it's just once I've turned the engine on. So again, I've only had the engine on for about 5 minutes here because I shut it off after doing the earlier part of the video and then turn it back on for this clip. So there you go, and then go back, and again, see, it's making me go completely out. So now I need to hit menu again, which is kind of irritating. And then go into trip fuel again. Fuel economy, if I go into that screen there, it's showing me what my fuel economy is, how it's going right now. So as it's just running, sitting here and not doing anything else, as we drive, that will fluctuate. Now if I hit, I don't know, I just noticed now, you see these little dashes over here? So earlier when I hit back, is it going completely out? Now if I hit down, it's going to the eco. So it's going through the different things that we saw earlier. So let me go back to that so I can demonstrate that. Hit menu and hit trip. There we go, hit the OK. And you see all these things in here, right? Well, those are all the different dashes that we saw on the right-hand panel that we can just go down through, and we were about ready to go into Eco Coach. So if you go into, you'll notice under that is the EV Coach. So hit the Eco Coach, there you go. So then you'll have that, and then you can hit OK for more information, and you'll notice there's 2 little dashes on the screen. So if I hit OK, that takes me to the other one. That tells you how you're doing in acceleration, deceleration, and speed, which affects your economy of your fuel. Now, if I hit down, because see those dashes over here? So if I hit down, that's going to go to the next one, which is EV Coach. So instead of hitting the back and going through it that way, you can go through it this way. And this brings up the EV Coach, which isn't showing us anything right now because for some reason. But then again, if you go down, use the down to go down through those each, you can do it quickly that way without getting out of it. So I didn't notice that at the beginning. So now we'll try to remember to do that on the rest of these. So the next one, excuse me, is the status information. Hit the OK for that. And we have 2 different things here. We have seat belts and power distribution for the status. Seat belts, click on that, tells us how many people are in the vehicle. Like it's only showing me sitting down, it's red, because I don't have the seat belt on. So you'll see that pictured there. So if you have kids in the back, you'll be able to say, hey, Bobby, your seatbelt's not on. Put your seatbelt on, because you can go in here and you can see that. Now, if I had just gone down, I didn't go down, I was going to. I could have just gone down to the power distribution, click on the end of that, and you can see the same thing we did see under the My View. So again, some of these things are quick things you can find without having to figure out which one is that in. I can't remember. Oh, is that in the status information? It's hard to remember sometimes all these and where they're located. So vehicle maintenance, let's go down to that set of menus. We have tire pressure and oil life. Now again, vehicle maintenance has to do with maintaining your vehicle. Makes sense. Tire pressure and oil life. Oil life is just showing us 100%. It does look like we can go into that because we can hit that reset. We can hold the OK and reset that if we need to. So going back, now that lets us go back. And then tire pressure, we do see a little arrow. Click OK, and that shows us how our tire pressure is. So it looks like we're low on a couple tires. I need to air those up a little bit to get them even. Sometimes that happens in the wintertime. And see this in there actually is a back, if you can see that. that allows us to go back. And then see, there's another back. So anytime you see a back, then you know that when you click on that, it'll take you back and not take the menu off completely. Audio, if we go into that, and there's an arrow, that's when you can hit OK and it goes into that. We have presets. We have AM, FM, and Sirius XM. So if you know, well, I just want to go down to FM, click on that, and that just takes your radio to FM and then takes you out of it. So if we click on the audio again, and we go to presets, let's go to that. That actually shows us all your presets. So you can go down through your presets and use those. Now also, you can use these buttons here for your presets as well. So, and then again, there's a little back arrow there, so we'll hit back and it takes us in here. So again, going into Sirius XM's the same way. Hit OK, and that's going to take us to that as well. So, all right. On the phone setting, we don't have a phone connected, but you'll have menus like making recent calls, your history, your saved phones, and everything else like that. I won't demonstrate that, but that's where you'll find that information. And settings, this is where you're going to have some settings here for you to display settings and vehicle settings. So display settings, we go into that. There we go. And we do have the left gauge. That's this over here on the left side, which you can't really see because of the view. Here, let me do this. Try to see that. So here you go. That's that left side over there. So if I hit OK here, that lets us choose if we want none or the power gauge. I hit none, and then we go back and go back and go back again. There you go. So we don't have the power gauge over here on this left side anymore. It's gone. So we'll go into menu, settings, display again, and it says none. Now we're going to go ahead and hit power gauge, and I'm going to hit menus to close it. Now we have this power gauge is back right here. So you can make that disappear if you want. So hit menu. There we go. Then go back into settings. Go back over here, and we're going to go down to vehicle settings. Oh, let's go back. Sorry, I don't think we were done with the display. Go into display. The sun's starting to come down in the wrong angle. Classic view is rounded gauge. Click onto that. You can also choose the digital speedometer if you want. So instead of the round speedometer, it's more of just a digital display for that. So now it's a digital display instead of a round gauge like you normally see for your speedometer. So just, again, a different way of being able to view that in the display. So we'll go back and change that just in case we needed that. And then you do have a secondary speedometer. You have a brake coach. Those are checked, and those are also showing in here as well when we brake the vehicle and everything. So that's located in there. So that's display. Go down to vehicle settings. We're almost done here, folks. We do have neutral tow is the only thing in here in vehicle settings that is disabled. So again, you can go in there if you need to. That just shows whether or not your neutral tow is going or not. So that's all of the settings in the menu on here. The rest of those settings you'll find on this big screen, and we'll do that in a separate video. But hopefully this did help you out, give you some information on where all the controls are, where things are located, and everything else like that. And again, we're going to do a special one on this 13.2-inch center stack screen, so be looking for that video in the future. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have that notification bell turned on. And if you're looking to order a 2024 Ford Escape, we are taking orders, and we would love to take your order if you're interested in putting one in. Just give us a call or send us a text message, or the information is down in the description if you have more information. We have build and price on our website and everything else. And we do MSRP pricing. We, of course, lock in any incentives, rates, and pricing, and we know how price protection works, so we'll always make sure you get the price of when it was when you ordered the vehicle, even if the price goes up. And we usually have plenty of allocations if you want to do that. And we have a YouTube special for up to $1,000 of shipping for free if you finance a vehicle with us at standard rates. So if you want to take advantage of that, you can have it shipped right to your door. So again, reach out to us if you want to do that. That's not the intent of this video. Hopefully you guys did like it, and you'll check us out on the next video. We talk about the center stack screen and how you can adjust it. It does look much different than the 8-inch touchscreen. I think you'll like that video. So until that video, we'll see you later. Stay positive, be kind to one another, be kind to yourself, and we'll see you in the next video.